Here's a Reekin Havoc power play.
The Havoc claimed 2 out of 3 home games this past weekend. Birmingham came into the VBC on Thursday's glow night and left with a 7-5 win in a penalty-riddled affair, with Huntsville racking up 49 minutes to the Bulls' 48. The visitors scored first in the opening period at 5:52 before Dylan Stewart tied it up on the power play at 11:38. The assist went to Austin Alger and Jack Yannick. Another Birmingham goal came a minute and a half before the break. Sam Ruffin answered at 5:38 in the second period with help from Kevin Weaver-Vitale. Birmingham reclaimed the lead at 12:21, and Craig McCabe came back with a goal at 12:57, with the assist coming from Benito Poza and Gio Procopio. The Bulls put up 2 more at 16:02 and 16:51 for a 5-3 lead. They took a 3-goal lead at 3:57 of the third. Then Stewart found the net for the second time in the game, assisted by Charlie Risk and Buster Larson at 5:44. That was followed by a power play goal by Gio, Larson, and Yannick at 9:14 on another power play. Birmingham added a shorthanded empty net goal at 19:05 for the final score. Mike Robinson saved 21 of 26 shots on goal, while Brian Wilson went 8 of 9 and was tagged with a loss. Dylan Stewart was the third star of the game. Evansville was the opponent to close out March and took the brunt of Huntsville's frustration on Friday's Margaritaville night in a 5-0 shutout. Nathan Burke got his first goal of the season unassisted at 2:24 of the first period. Larson and Craig McCabe came back with another at 3:45. Ruffin scored at 7:47 of period number 2 on the power play, with Yannick and Alger pitching in to help out. Zach Connor also notched his first goal of the season at 18:46, with Risk and Stewart in on the assist. Alger, Burke, and Mason Palmer combined at 3:16 to wrap up the scoring. Wilson, Alger, and Gio were the 3 stars of the game. Wilson rejected all 35 of the Thunderbolts' shots. 18 penalty minutes were assessed to the Havoc, while Evansville collected 20. Friday's military night was more of a game for a while. Robbie Fisher, Terry Ryder, and Larson got together for the first Huntsville point at 3:19 into the contest. The Thunderbolts knotted the score at 12:44 the second period. Larson put the Havoc back on top at 17:49, assisted by Dominic Procopio and Fisher. Evansville recorded their second goal of the night at 1:32 of the third. Stewart, McCabe, and Larson put Huntsville ahead for good at 12:45, followed by a made shot by Matt Allen at 17:56 on an empty net. The assist on that one went to Yannick. Another empty net goal came off Gio's stick at 19:07, helped out by Alger and Phil Elgstam. The Thunderbolts were called for 20 penalty minutes to the Havoc 17. Huntsville had over twice the shots on goal, 49-24. Wilson saved 22 of those Evansville attempts. Stewart, Fisher, and Larson were the 3 stars of the game. One of the worst feelings you can have is that of being stranded. Well, BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair makes that a thing of the past, with 24/7 towing services and roadside assistance in the northern Alabama and southern Tennessee areas. But that's not all. They also offer truck and trailer repair, mobile welding, brake service and repair, new and used tires, and other major and minor repairs. Their name says it all: BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair. For 24/7 response, call 497-8234. That's 497-8234. BT's Towing, Tire, and Truck Repair.
My name is Joel, and I came to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in December of 1987 to be treated for osteosarcoma, which is bone cancer. We didn't know anything about St. Jude. We didn't know what they meant, or that, when we got here, what we would do, how it would be taken care of. And when we arrived, we found out that my family wasn't going to have to pay for any of my treatment, not for my medicine, not for travel, not for housing, not for food. St. Jude was going to cover all that. St. Jude supported me in every way, from, taking that financial burden off my parents to making sure that all of my family was included in this time. St. Jude literally means everything to me. I get to go home to my family tonight. I get to cook dinner for them. That's what you're giving. You are giving us everything by supporting St. Jude. So thank you so much.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
This is Tyler Piacentini, and you are listening to the Reekin Havoc podcast.
Huntsville ended the weekend 9 points out of first place behind Peoria. Buster Larson leads the Havoc with 55 points, with 36 of those coming from his team-leading assist total. He's fifth in the SPHL in both stats. Austin Alger paces the team with 23 goals, good for eighth in the league. Mike Robinson's .924 save percentage and 2.38 goals against average puts him second in the SP. Charlie Risk is sneaking up on Cole Reginato's 116 penalty minutes with 114. He was suspended over this past weekend and will miss tonight's game at Macon, the first of two to end the regular season.
Join the Huntsville Havoc Booster Club and help support the team and staff and promote the sport of hockey in Huntsville. Go online to havocboosters.org for more information.
In June of 2005, our twin girls were delivered, Melissa and Ann Catherine, and they were born 14 weeks early.
Amy and Chris George talk about the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund.
They both weighed less than 2 pounds. Ann Catherine was 115 and Melissa was 1'9". Melissa lived for a couple of hours, but all of the medical technology in the world just could not have saved her, and she passed away while she was in the NICU. Chris realized pretty early that God had given us a platform that we could use to try to help people. So Chris and I started the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund at Huntsville Hospital.
To know that Melissa's name is living on, her legacy continues. And I think that was very important to Amy and I, is why, the fund is named after her. Because for 7 weeks, Melissa fought so that Aunt Catherine would have a chance to live. And I think that we wouldn't be doing her name any justice if we didn't carry on, because we know we wanted to honor her and honor her legacy. And the community, Huntsville Havoc, the community in Huntsville itself, they've rallied around that. And it's been a wonderful support system for us. And I think for a lot of families too, when they see total strangers that are giving.
We're online at HuntsvilleHospitalFoundation.org. Click on the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund and you can give that way.
There's no donation that's too small, and every dollar is just as important as the next one. And if you're giving, then we understand you're giving because you care. And that's what's important, is that we've learned over the years that people give because they care.
And you can volunteer. If you're interested in that, you can click on the volunteer tab to fill out an application. We are grateful for any type of support, because we know that once we pull those dollars together, we can do big things.
For more information on the Melissa George Neonatal Memorial Fund, visit HuntsvilleHospitalFoundation.org.
For tickets, official Huntsville Havoc merchandise, and more, go to HuntsvilleHavoc.com. Visit our website at ReekinHavoc.com. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Threads. And listen, follow, and subscribe to the Reekin Havoc podcast on your favorite platform to keep up with the only weekly podcast covering the Huntsville Havoc, the Reekin Havoc podcast.